Assalamu alaikum. In today's video, we're going to take a look at the coronavirus since our last video, which was on the 8th of March. Now, on the 9th of March, it was announced that people would be fined up to 500,000 if they don't disclose any health-related problems when they're entering Saudi Arabia. Also, on the same day, it was announced that Fridays, during the Friday prayer, which is Jummah, the sermon would be limited to 15 minutes to prevent the spread of the disease. It was also announced that the Mataf area in Mecca around the Kaaba is sterilized and incensed 7 times a day. On the 9th of March, King Salman announced that Saudi Arabia will donate $10 million to help the World Health Organization to fight the disease and the virus. In another article, Saudis in Bahrain were asked to return to Saudi Arabia within 72 hours. Until the 8th of March and 9th of March, the confirmed cases were 15. On the 10th of March, it was announced that there were further 5 cases of the coronavirus, which brought the number to 20. And it was the first case of the coronavirus in Mecca. Also on the 10th of March, Saudis were given 72 hours to return from the United Arab Emirates and 2 days to return from Egypt. The Saudi government announced that Iran is undermining global efforts in combating the coronavirus. It was also announced that Saudi Arabia screens over 500,000 amid the 5 new cases, and 468 people were quarantined out of precaution. In further news, on the 10th of March, it was announced that the ground mosques sanitizing workforce has increased to 450. Also on the 10th of March, Saudi Arabia has announced that it has banned the smoking of shisha and tobacco to combat the virus from spreading. So as a result, cafes and restaurants are banned from serving shisha and other tobacco products. As announced in previous videos, Saudi Arabia has turned towards online education, and it was announced on the 10th of March that there will be free tariffs for health and education e-portals. So for students, they can use these apps online and they won't have to pay anything extra. So using the internet through these portals will be free. It was also announced that the new batch of Saudi aid arrives in the province of Wuhan in China. The Saudi Passport Department, the Jawazat, announced on the 11th of March that people shouldn't overstay their visit visas. In another article, on the 11th of March, Saudi Arabia announced that there was a first recovery from the virus. On the 12th of March, Saudi Arabia expanded the travel ban to 39 states, including the EU. In an article on the 12th of March, it was advised by the Ministry of Health to avoid handshakes and gatherings, so as a prevention of the spread of the virus. Also on the same day, the Senior Scholars Council, the Ulama announced that Friday prayers are forbidden for people that are infected by the coronavirus. In an article on the 13th of March, it was announced by the Saudi Ministry of Health that 17 new coronavirus cases had been discovered in Saudi Arabia, bringing the total number of affected to 62. In another article on the 13th of March, it was announced that in Saudi Arabia that events in wedding halls and rest houses and also in hotels will be suspended. In another article, the Saudi African and Arab African summits are postponed due to the spread of the virus around the world. In a further article on the 13th of March, it was announced that the Saudi census 2020 would be suspended until further notice, so the counting of the population has been suspended. Also on the 13th of March, it was announced that missions and airlines are racing against time to send back the pilgrims that have come for umrah. In another article on the 13th of March, the SAMA, which is the Saudi currencies, so Saudi Arabian Monetary Authority, it isolates all incoming Saudi currencies from abroad. In further news, on the 14th of March, Saudi Arabia has announced that it will suspend international flights to prevent the spread of the virus. So all international flights have been postponed and cancelled for the next 2 weeks. It was also announced on the 14th of March that all sports activities will be suspended until further notice because of the virus. It was announced on the 14th of March that Saudi Arabia's AIN educational channels will be free via Joey TV service. Also on the 14th of March, Saudi Arabia announced that 17 new coronavirus cases have been discovered, bringing the total number of affected to 103. In an article on the 15th of March, the SAMA, which is the Saudi Arabian Monetary Authority, has unveiled 50 billion Saudi Riyal economic stimulus package to offset the coronavirus impact. In another article on the 15th of March, Saudi Arabia announced that there was a second recovery from the coronavirus. Also, another article on the 15th of March announced that games, recreational areas in and around malls will be closed, and malls currently have been closed for the foreseeable future. It was announced by the Passports Department, the Jawazat, that all visit visas can be renewed through the Abshir service. It was announced on the 15th of March that all domestic Saudiya flights will continue as scheduled, as previously all international flights were cancelled for 2 weeks. Domestic flights will continue as scheduled. As I mentioned before, on the 15th of March, malls have actually shut down and eating in at restaurants have been banned. However, people can take away their food rather than eating at the restaurants. It was also announced that supermarkets and pharmacies will be allowed to stay open as usual. In the same article, it was announced that cafes will be open, however, for only takeaway and not drinking in at the coffee shops. On the 15th of March, Saudi Arabia announced that it will suspend shipping services with 50 countries due to the situation with the virus. On the 16th of March, Saudi Arabia announced that it will suspend workplace attendance in government agencies for 16 days. So government employees will have to work from home. Also on the 16th of March, 15 more cases of the coronavirus was actually reported and discovered. It was also announced that the Ministry of Commerce will inspect tours around the country of shops and warehouses to see there's enough stock for citizens to purchase things that they might need and supplies. Also on the 16th of March, all court sessions were postponed. It was also announced on the 16th of March that banks and money exchanges will have to work remotely for the next 16 days. So as a result, banks and money exchanges will be closed for the next 16 days. Also on the 16th of March, the Minister of Health, Tawfiq Al-Rabi'a, has announced that cases of the coronavirus is likely to increase. He has urged all citizens and expatriates in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to stay in their homes and not to go out unless absolutely necessary. Also on the 16th of March, it was announced that the measures to combat coronavirus are for the people's safety in the two holy mosques. Furthermore, it was announced that the Saudi private sector is to give mandatory 2-week leave to pregnant women and also sick people that have respiratory or other diseases. On the 17th of March, Saudi Arabia reported 15 new cases of the coronavirus, bringing the total affected to 133. In further news, on the 17th of March, public prosecution announced that there will be a 10 million rial fine or a penalty for manipulators of prices. On the 17th of March, the General Authority of Civil Aviation has announced that they have adopted more steps to keep coronavirus at bay. Also, again on the 17th of March, the Riyadh municipality is announced that it will distribute free sanitizers to the public. And finally, the Jawazat, the passport department, has announced that it will extend tourist visas for those that were affected by the suspension of international flights. Thank you for watching our video. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like and share the video, and turn on your notifications. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook. Assalamu alaikum.